Y'all have been amazing, absolutely incredible. I'm blown away. I just started writing poetry. This is the first piece I ever written. This is the second time I've done it. So
right on, bro. Show 'em love.
excuse the nerves. But I want to give you a little bit of my backstory. So I was adopted when I was 2 years old. I was adopted into a white family, and that's my family. It's my blood. I love them to death.
That's right.
But it's interesting when you're adopted, especially as a black man in a white family. It's interesting because I didn't get to grow up in traditional black culture. So everything that the world told me was being black, I didn't get to experience completely. So growing up, I didn't know anything else. But then, you enter high school and all your white friends, you're black, so you don't really fit in. All the black people tell you you're not black enough to fit in with them. So it's just weird. I was like in a middle ground. So it was really interesting. I always felt like I had to overcompensate or be more black or try and be more white. And I was really messed up with my identity. I really didn't know who I was. And it took me a long time to figure that out, but ultimately I found that it doesn't matter. I'm a black man because I have a black skin. I grew up in a white family. But ultimately, my identity is found in Jesus Christ.
Yeah. All right!
Take your time.
They say I'm not really black because I don't fit the mold. Because apparently, growing up in a white family means my black card has been permanently revoked.
Come on, little bro.
They say I'm not really black because my persona doesn't scream thug. As if my blackness is contingent on how many bottles I pop at the clubs.
All right.
You see, here's the issue. Society is defined what it means to have a little extra melanin. It's sagging pants and pimping. It's welfare checks and ghetto living. It's how much meat I can scrape off the bone of this Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's a couple extra inches in my lower region. So let me examine your logic, and I'll tell you where it's based. It's part of the same school of thought that I'm part of the inferior race. But boy, this is an old story, and it started when we came over on those ships. Like, our name was Kunta Kinte, but they told us it was Toby.
Right.
It's identity theft that they've been putting us through, and it's never going to stop until we pull out the roots.
Come on.
Right.
But how can we not spot it? It's the same method that they use to keep us in the South picking cotton. But these shackles, they aren't visible. They're completely mental. This idea, this subliminal message that to be black means being ghetto. So they drive and they push and they finagle and they climb until this idea is embedded deep in your subconscious mind that they are better and we are less than. We are treated as subjects, but follow like the predicate. I said that they are better and we are less than. We are treated as the subjects, but follow like the predicate. Like inception, it's a perception they plan stealthy with deception. So listen, as I verbally lead this insurrection, bad and black have been equated, white and good and not synonymous. But if you take a method plus a mind to make a positive, it's obvious to change the outlook. Because some things are really fitting. Because I'm tired of this tired connotation that to be black means being a nigga.
Come on.
Come on, brother.
Because I was consuming that lie. And then assumption was my consumption. So drunk off the lies, your boy's stomach needed pumping. So hungry for identity, I was grasping onto anything that looked shiny, like these rings and these chains and these grills and these rims. Boy, I was suckling hard and society had the milk. But it was powder, and it soured, and it blew away like powder in my hand. They promised me the Atlantic Ocean. They gave me a puddle, a box, and some sand. See, there was a disparity between me and what I ought to be. Between what I was and what was expected. So I bought into the lies that were cheaper than me, my heritage, and my people. Society had me pinned and was crushing my throat in the grip of its headlock. No oxygen in my lungs, can't talk. Silence. But the only thing that penetrates deeper than silence is truth. And I listen. And as that truth reverberated in the walls of my skull, I meditated on its call like an old hymn. I know who I am because I know I am. I said, I know who I am because I know I am. And now that I know, enough's enough. My identity and society are divorced and I never signed a prenup. So now my veins burst and they swell, and my lungs they huff and they puff. The same sense of pride that's welling up inside me is the same that kept Rosa from moving to the back of that bus. So I will not sit back quietly, and I will not put this mildly. So please excuse me as I take an axe to this support beam of society. Listen to me, people. I'll enunciate every last syllable. I can be a black male without sounding like an uneducated Negro. That chain is swung low and now I'm home. We're in the promised land, but we got giants galore. I've been a slave for so long and this treatment's been egregious, and I know these shoes ain't Air Jordans, but they got me flying out of Egypt. I'm proud of who I am, and I'm proud to wear this pigment, and I'm trying to get you free like crossing the Mason-Dixon. And now I stand tall, and pride beats inside my chest. And as the First Lady once said, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. So don't you dare buy into that lie. And don't you dare throw your pearls to those swine. And don't you dare stand in line for a hopeless, pointless piece of identity that society keeps trying to provide. Because I got mine. I got mine. You can have yours. Your identity has been etched into the strands that twist together to make up your DNA codes. And your owner, he wrote his name on your soul. And not your foot, and his name was an Andy. He's the king of all creation, whose name the rocks keep proclaiming. So I'm done chasing the pseudo. And you can keep your J's, and you can keep your chains. I'm a proud black male, and most importantly, I'm the son of a king.